So when our investor partners invest with us and when we make these projects happen, we are making sure that our bandwidth is diversified. So we might put a riskier project with one investor and they might not necessarily know it's a riskier project because we've ran it through our checks and balances. So for them, it needs to make sense. And we do that by really just having that conversation with the investor and saying, what are your goals? What are your timelines? If this happens, are you going to be okay with that outcome? And just lay that all out there, that there's a minimum dollar that they're going to make and there's a longest timeline that we're going to have with them. And if that's the case, then that's what happens, kind of deal. But just having those conversations up front. So our balance of risk is, I guess, identified with every investor client out front. But then internally, we're not taking on projects that are too far away too many times. So if we're going to take on one project that's a little bit farther away, we've got to make sure that we have two that are super close to home, because we can't have everybody running in different directions. We feel that we know that stuff happens on the job site, even if it's things like we got to go out and get photos, or we got to grab lunch, or we just need to powwow and all of our employees are out at this one job site. If that means that Ashton and I got to drive to them to have a powwow out there, it just means that we kind of need to always be, I guess, spatially aware of where the projects are and where the risk, and just being like, those are different layers. The vicinity, the risk level, the complexity of projects, all those things are different layers of risk. And so just being able to layer those and then kind of run those ROI calculations in your head as we're going is kind of how we operate as a whole.